All right, the next part we're going to talk about is how to assemble our mouthpiece and our ligature and our reed. So what you want to do is you want to take your reed and you want to make sure that it's wet. You want to make sure that not only this portion of your reed is wet, but also the heel portion. You're going to take your mouthpiece, and depending on the type of mouthpiece you have, whether it's classical or commercial, or perhaps it's a student model, different mouthpieces have what we call different lays. And this portion of the mouthpiece, which we also call the facing, it could be wider, pointed up more, or it could be smaller. And how you judge that distance is when you put your reed against your mouthpiece, you're going to find out how big of a distance it is between your reed and your mouthpiece. The larger the opening between your reed and your mouthpiece, the more air you will have to put through your mouthpiece in order to get your reed to vibrate. Your reed vibrating against your mouthpiece like this is how you actually get your sound. So it's important that you get the right combination of mouthpiece and reed in order to have your best sound when you're playing. So if we just take a quick look at our mouthpiece, let's go over the portions of and parts of our mouthpiece. When looking at your mouthpiece, you have your side rails, which are along the side here. You also have your tip rail, which is at the tip. That's where the tip of the reed will also come along. Another side rail over here. This smooth part along the mouthpiece is called your table. Now inside your mouthpiece, along right here, we have what we call the baffle. And then inside your mouthpiece, the portion of where the wind actually comes in here and through here, we call that the chamber. And as I said before, this portion, the distance kind of along here, is what we call the facing. So if you ever hear anybody referring to different types of facing, widths of facing and things like that, that's what they're talking about. When you're looking at mouthpieces, you can also, as you see here, I have a tooth guard on or a mouthpiece guard on my mouthpiece. And what this actually does, because it is made of rubber, it actually stops some of the vibration of the mouthpiece and reed from going into your teeth. So on this particular one, I have a tooth guard, and that just again protects my teeth from getting jostled around from the small vibration of the mouthpiece. Now that we know all the parts of the mouthpiece, we can put our reed and mouthpiece together. Again, remember that I'm going to hold my reed by the heel. This is the heel portion. Again, let's review that this is our stock portion of the reed and the rails here. So I'm going to put rail to rail, and I'm going to put the back of my reed to the table of my mouthpiece, and that is how you're going to actually get your mouthpiece and reed placement. Now if we just put our ligature over top at this point, notice how the possibility of me snagging my reed and my ligature on the very tip here is highly probable. Well, instead, what I suggest is always going and taking your ligature first, putting your ligature on your mouthpiece and pulling it down, making sure that the lugs are unscrewed enough that you can actually fit your reed inside. Then hold your reed and put the heel in first and shift it down like that. Notice that I'm using both my right and my left hands to get this reed and mouthpiece placement. I move my reed back and forth with my thumb until when I push down on my reed, notice how it is just a very thin layer of black along the back. Once I have that, I can tighten my ligature, making sure that my ligature is low enough. If you notice at the very back, I want to make sure that my ligature is lower than this lip. Once it's tight, I just make sure that my placement of my reed is correct, and I'm done.